UFC Fight Night 160 Copenhagen, Hermansson versus Cannonier takes place next weekend. We're going to do a full card prediction, okay? Starting from the early prelims, ending with the main event. We're going to go through, look at the mood change already. This UFC Copenhagen card is stacked. Compared to that shit UFC Mexico one, look at the energy change. I'm invested. I'm intrigued. Don't mind the spot right there. I recently changed religions. Racism out the way. Let's get to the predictions. Jack Shaw versus no Helen Hernandez. I'm going with Jack Shaw. I like this guy. I'm going to be doing him as my prospect spotlight, okay? He's the guy right now. He's from Wales. My neighbour, being from England. Basically in the same country anyway, from the United Kingdom. 11-0. As an amateur, he was 13-0. He has a legit amateur record. He's one of these new breeds. I think he's going to go in there and TKO no Helen Hernandez and get the job done. Even though Hernandez is a great fighter, I think Jack Shaw's one to watch. I've been singing his praise for a very long time, and he's opening up the card, which basically forces me to watch the card from the very beginning, which I'm not mad at. Then you got Mark Chikadze versus Lando Vannata. Why is this far down on the prelims? This is a great fight. Lando Vannata, Mark Chikadze, sign me up. I'm going with Lando Vannata here. I feel like Mark Chikadze has been figured out too many times. I feel like Lando Vannata can eat. Listen, both guys like to strike, okay? Both guys have got good chins. They've got good knockout power. They can strike. Options, Lando Vannata. Mark Chikadze's from England. I could be biased here. You know what I'm saying? I could easily just say Mark Chikadze's going to win. Don't worry why. You know what I'm saying? Lando Vannata's got options. If he ain't liking the feet, he ain't liking the stand-up, he can change it and go to wrestling and submit guys like he did in his last fight. Okay? Mark Chikadze's not liking the feet, and on the stand-up, he has no choice. And Lando Vannata's going to win. I'm going with Lando Vannata. I think he finds the TKO, I say by ground and pound, in the second or third round. Macy Chiasson versus Lena Landsberg. Obviously, Macy Chiasson, she hits like a man. Brandon Davis, and she shaved half of her head, so basically a win already. 5-0. Pretty sure they've all been finishes. I'm liking it. I'm liking the look of her. Brandon Davis versus Giga Chikadze. This just got added, right? Why is Brandon Davis doing this? I like Brandon Davis, but he keeps fucking taking short notice fights. And he's never going to be prepared enough. I'm going with Brandon Davis, though, because this other guy... Oh, he's fucking... This guy's a... I know this guy as well from Glory Kickboxing. Fuck's sake. Why is he taking this fight? Again, options. I'm going with Brandon Davis. He can wrestle if he wants to. At least more than this guy who's fighting right now. Who's been submitted and been out-grappled before in his career. I feel like Brandon Davis, again, options. He's not liking it on the feet, which I think he will because he has a great chin. He's got good stand-up as well, but odds are the other guy's going to get better of the stand-up exchanges. Brandon Davis can choose to wrestle and submit him like he did to Randy Costa. If he's not liking the feet, he can make that change. MMA is all about options. If you don't have options, you lose, in my opinion. Brandon Davis gets the job done by submission in the first round. Sihar Bahadazada versus Ismail Nurdiev. I'm going with Ismail Nurdiev. Sihar Bahadazada likes to keep it standing. Not the most phenomenal wrestler I've ever seen in my life. I am going to go with Ismail Nurdiev. I think you have to be a dominant wrestler and a guy who's hell-bent on going out there and wrestling to beat Ismail Nurdiev. Anytime this fight's on the feet, it's going to favour him. He's got a sick hairline as well. I'm going to go with him here. Ismail Nurdiev gets the decision win unanimously over 3 rounds. Alessio Di Chirico versus Mahmoud Maharadov. Alessio Di Chirico is going to win here, guys. 22-6 for Mahmoud. I'm going to go with Alessio Di Chirico. I actually thought Alessio Di Chirico beat Kevin Holland in their last fight. So, in my opinion, he's coming off a win here. I think he's going to get the job done. Alessio Di Chirico by unanimous decision. He's a big boy with a big punch. Alan Amadovsky versus John Phillips. John Phillips has one big punch, and if that doesn't work, he's kind of just fucked. He's from Wales as well. I could be biased, guys. I really could be biased. I'm going to go with Alan Amadovsky. He went to a decision with Krzysztof Jotko in his UFC debut. I don't mind that as a loss, especially a decision. It means you showed... And it was also quite competitive as well, but Krzysztof Jotko got the better of the wrestling. I think he's going to piece up John Phillips, man. John Phillips is just... Yeah, it's him and Jack Marshman. Not doing too good out of the Welsh boys. Hopefully Jack Shaw can change that real quick. Starting with the main event. Here we go. Here's what everyone's here for. Let's be real. No one really cares about that other shit. But Nicolas Dalbey versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira opening up the main card. I think it's interesting the way they've gone with actually laying out this event. Because they've got Mark Madson versus Daniel Beluardo as the... We'll get to that. Alright, I'm saying? I don't think that's going to be the official co-main. They're saying it is right now. And if it is, I'm going to commit arson on the UFC and burn it to the ground. Nicolas Dalbey versus Alex Oliveira. I'm going to go with Alex Oliveira here. I think he beats him. I like Nicolas Dalbey. You know what I'm saying? He's most known for taking advantage of a dislocated shoulder Darren Till and winning the third round and making it a draw. Even though I don't think it should have been a draw because I think you should have given... Whatever. That's what he's most known for. He didn't even win to get back into the UFC. He kind of just got... And I hate to say this because I like his... You know, he obviously had a rough time with mental illness and he was sad for a bit because he got cut from the UFC and he's back now, but he kind of got given a pity way back into the UFC. Like, he didn't earn his way back in. You know, the fight with him and Ross Houston got called a no contest because he had a cut on his head and Ross Houston had a cut on his head as well. So it was a no contest. So, like, that doesn't earn you back in. Where's Ross Houston? If you're going to give a no contest guy a contract, but the guy who he went to a no contest with not a contract, what's going on? Know what I'm saying? Nicolas Dalbey, I feel like he's gonna get beaten here. If I'm honest with you, I think Alex Oliveira is a big boy. I think he's gonna show in there. He's got the reach. He's such a long fighter as well. I think there's reasons why he loses fights through his own stupidity at times. Obviously, against Yancy Medeiros, he kind of just gassed himself out and his nose was like Rory McDonald did, back into his face. And against Mike Perry, broke his toe. And he was using a front kick the entire fight. So without that toe, that third round goes to Perry all the way. I think he's a great fighter. If all goes to plan and he doesn't injure himself in the middle of the fight, I think he's going to beat Nicolas Dalbey. I'll say by decision because Dalby's kind of tough. So I'll go by decision for Alex Oliveira. Probably going to be a fight of the night, to be honest with you. Miguel Oleksiejczuk versus Ovince St. Preux. Listen. This guy, Miguel Oleksiejczuk, I don't think you guys know who he is. And I haven't seen a lot of guys having a buzz about him. He is a savage, okay? He's a savage. I believe he's on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. 24 years old. He's not big for a light heavyweight, okay? He's not big at all. He's actually quite small. Very fast. Great takedown defense. I don't throw around the phrase touch of death very often in people's hands because I think it's stupid to go on sort of made up shit. But this guy, I'm telling you, has got touch of death in his hands, okay? Anytime, he doesn't even look like he throws with effort at all. It doesn't look like he throws with any effort. There's no twist of his shoulders. There's no big wind up like a Jeremy Stephens shot. When Jeremy Stephens knocks someone out, you can be like, yeah, that makes sense. Look at the way he swung it. Look at the way Tyron Woodley knocked someone out. Makes sense. He threw an overhand. This guy just throws like quick little right hand and that's it, you're down. And against Ovince St. Preux, with being as chinny as he is, I think he's going to catch him in the first round and put him out stiff for the upset. If he is the underdog here, I'm not sure. He might be the favourite because the bookies might know what I know. I think he's going to get the KO in the first round. Ion Cutelaba versus Khalil Roundtree. Holy shit! I should have thought about this. Khalil Roundtree, very good. I feel like he was sort of overhyped off of his performance against Eric Anders. I think if there's a guy that's going to ignore pain and come forward and throw his big shots, it's going to be Ion Cutelaba. I'm not sold on the Khalil Roundtree hype yet. I've seen him KO'd many times. I've seen him put in a fucking Kimura by fucking Tyson Pedro of all people. Yes, he's got big power. I think the new fighting style he's employed makes him less reliant on that power. I think he only looked good because he was facing Eric Anders, who, let's face it, isn't the most technical of guys. I think he's a very good Muay Thai striker. If he beats Cutelaba, I'll then be on the hype train. Okay? And I'll be like, yes, Khalil Roundtree's made a massive change. I'm going to go with Cutelaba getting the upset. And I think he's going to get it in the first round because Khalil Roundtree has been KO'd. He's a lot older. I feel like he's going to throw an inside leg kick. And I feel like he's going to get caught on the chin because of it. I feel like he's going to throw an inside leg kick. And then get caught on the chin trying to go backwards and sort of lean out the way of his shot. But he's going to throw an inside leg kick and get caught on the chin by Cutelaba. And Cutelaba gets the job done in the first round. Risky pick. I'm going for it though. If Khalil Rountree wins this one, I'm Team Roundtree. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll just say Mark Madson versus Daniel Belluardo. I'm going with Mark Madson here. I don't know why it's a co-main event. That's probably going to get shifted to the prelims, to be honest with you. Unless Madson's like a local. I guess he could be 7-0. They brought him in for his debut, 34 years old. He might be a local guy, so who knows? Maybe they'll want him on the main card. Gunnar Nelson versus Gilbert Burns. Interesting, my friend. I'm going to go with Gunnar Nelson here. I think at 170, it's going to be a little bit easier to hold down Gilbert Burns. I think even I don't know, man. Konchenko, I didn't rate him as a fighter, and I picked Gilbert Burns to beat him on short notice. He comes out aggressive. He's going to be throwing heat. I feel like he's going to find himself a little bit lost on the ground with Gunnar Nelson, who isn't the biggest welterweight, but if there's a guy that can change levels and drag this to the mat, I feel like it's going to be Gunnar. Okay? I feel like it's going to be Gunnar. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Gilbert Burns isn't going to be the biggest welterweight in the world, so I feel like he's going to be a little bit easier to hold down than, say, an Alex Oliveira, even though Gilbert Burns is a fucking legit jiu-jitsu black belt, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to go with Gunnar Nelson here, though. I really am. I do worry about Nelson's chin sometimes, though, because Nelson's been given some damage, plenty in his career, okay? I am going to go with Nelson here. Gunnar Nelson gets the win by submission in the second round, or the third round, one of them. It's going to be a brutal fight, back and forth. I think Nelson pulls off the win, much like he did against Oliveira. Jack Hermansson versus Jack Cannonier. Hermansson by first round submission, arm in guillotine. I don't even have to go into this one. I'll save it for the full fight breakdown. There's not many guys I picked to beat Whittaker right now. I think Adesanya loses to him. I think Costa gives him a bit more of a fight, but I think Costa loses to Whittaker as well. I think Gastelum loses to Whittaker. Hermansson's dangerous, man. I could see him submitting Yoel. And if you think I'm crazy for saying that, you're talking about a guy who not only dominated Jacare for 5 full rounds and completely dominated him, but did it on a week's notice and earned his way into main event slots by doing so. I think he's going to get Cannonier down. Cannonier is known to be bullied by elite grapplers. Didn't work out for him against Branch because he eventually got free and landed the big shot. And then he was actually smothering Branch at one point. So he's a big guy and he's very strong at the weight class. I feel like Hermansson's going to get him in the clinch. Hermansson isn't going to fake a leg injury, Anderson Silva, and act like he's hurt on the ground and get out of there with his show money without taking any damage. Hermansson's going to get him in a clinch, spin him round, throw him to the ground, much like he did against David Branch, put him in an arming guillotine. He's not Jacare, so he's not going to be able to get out of it. See you later. Goodbye, Cannonier. And then we get Hermansson versus maybe the loser of Adesanya Whittaker, or maybe the winner of Gastelum versus Till, or maybe Paulo Costa, unless he's guaranteed the next title shot. Who knows? See you later. Thanks for watching. Click that button there. If you take the piss out of this, then you're a racist and a bigot. Ni hao. Fucking, that's not even Indian. Whatever. See you later.